Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Tampa Bay Downs here on Saturday. It is March the 10th, 2018. Gonna look at all the stakes races on the program from Tampa Bay, including the Tampa Bay Derby, which goes off as race number 11. But before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. Jam-packed race day from Tampa Bay. We have 5 stakes races. It's all a part of an all-stakes pick 5, which I think is very nice. So I'll be looking at races 7, 8, 9, 10, and the featured 11th race, which is the Tampa Bay Derby. So let's get on to it. Starting off race number 7 from Tampa, which is the second running of the Columbia Stakes per $75,000. It's for 3-year-olds. Field of 14 horses, but only 12 could go on the turf course, so just keep that in mind. They're going the distance of ground of 1,600 meters or 1 mile on the turf course, rails at 0 feet, and they'll be using the stretch start, so just keep that in mind. 1,600 meters, 1 mile, and I show the diagram. It just gives me a second to look down at my notes. Just bear with me. Top pick in this race, I like the number 2 horse, Captivating Moon. Gonna go 2-7-3-6 in the superfecta, 2-7-3-6 super, and the pick 5 I'll go 2-7. I think it's a 2-horse race in my eyes between those two. But top pick number 2, Captivating Moon, 5-1, 3-year-old colt by Malibu Moon. Florent Giroux gets the leg up. Most recent outing came on the 7th of February here at Tampa. 1,600 meters, 1 mile, and optional 75 claimer. This horse won by a nose that day. Small field of 5 horses that day. Horse had a horrible start, was towards the back pack most of the race, but closed up well at the end. It was drifting a little bit, but it was an all-around decent run at the end after what happened at the beginning, which was horrible. And also it was the horse's first start since the 29th of October. That came at Churchill, 7 furlongs in the Spendthrift Farm Juvenile Stakes. Horse finished second by head that day. This horse closed up well at the end, a little bit wide, but it wasn't a bad outing on dirt. And then on October the 8th at Keeneland, Sloppy going, mile 16th in the Grade 3 Bourbon. Horse finished 7 by 5 1/4 lengths. Broke last that day, wide, and just really never got into it. The post-draw was really not to this horse's liking. But this horse is 2 for 2 on turf. One last time out of Tampa, and one the first career outing at Arlington, about a mile on the turf course, main special weight 29,000. Horse won by 2 lengths, sat mid-pack, closed up well, and had a very nice victory. I like her running style on this turf course. Second off the layoff, if she doesn't drift, she should run a big one, so watch out for her. So to recap my bets for the 7th from Tampa, it's the second running of the Columbia. Gonna go with the 2-horse Captivating Moon. Gonna go 2-7-3-6 in the superfecta. I'll go 2-7 in my multi-race. Pick 5. So now let's get on to race number 8 from Tampa. The 8th race, it's the 27th running of the Challenger. Purse $100,000. It's for 4-year-olds and upwards. Fields of 7 horses going the 1,700 meter trip, if you want to go by that, or the mile and 1/16th trip on the main track. 1,700 meters, mile 16th. Top pick in this race, I like the number 6 horse. Number 6, who is You're to Blame. Gonna go 6-5-7-3 in the superfecta. 6-5-7-3 super. Top pick number 6, You're to Blame. He'll be on my pick 4 ticket, or pick 5 ticket, shall I say, along with the 5-horse Jay's Way. I'll go too deep in this race. I do think it's a 2-horse race between those two, but top pick You're to Blame, 7-2 here. Johnny V is on this one for Todd Pletcher. This 4-year-old Ridgeline by Distorted Humor. Most recently, this horse had an outing the 11th of February. Came at Gulfstream Park. It's mile 16th and optional 50 claimer. This horse had, what you want going a mile 16th at Gulfstream. Speed from the rail. Horse won by 4.5 lengths. Was on the lead all throughout and just had a very nice, easy victory. All around great race. Before that, this horse ran the 26th of December at Gulfstream. Optional 50 claimer going a mile 16th. He finished 3rd by head that day. First starts in September. First start in Gulfstream. He just really never got into it that day. It just wasn't his day to win. Then on the 15th of September at Belmont Mile, an optional 62 claimer. Horse finished 2nd by 3 lengths. Didn't have the best starts that day. Was towards the back of the pack, but was moving at the end. Wasn't a bad outing at the end, but the start was bad. The winner, Vulcan's Forge, I believe is running today at Aqueduct, which I do fancy him there a lot. But this horse was just second best behind him. This horse's last victory before the February victory came in February of 2017 at Parks. 7 furlongs, optional 50 claimer. This horse won by 3/4 length. He closed up well after a horrible beginning, but those were against tougher, lesser quality horses. But I do think the mile 16th in this race should really suit this one. I think he's coming to this race a lot better than a lot of his other races, so watch out for him. So to recap my bets for the 8th from Tampa, it's the 27th Challenger Stakes. Gonna go with the 6 horse, You're to Blame. Gonna go 6-5-7-3 in the superfecta. So now let's get on to race number 9 from Tampa Bay, which is probably one of the best, classiest races in the country today. The ninth race from Tampa, it's the 20th running of the Hillsborough Stakes, grade 2, purse $225,000, which for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 10 classy fillies and mares going the distance of ground of 1,800 meters, if you want to go by that, or 1 mile and 1/8 on the turf course. Rails at 0 feet. And probably in a few years' time, I could probably see this race going to a grade 1, because it's, every year this race gets better and better. This year's, some very classy horses running in it. My top pick, I like the 5-horse Daddy. He's a little darling. Gonna go 5-9-2-10 in the superfecta. 5-9-2-10 super. Top pick number 5, Daddy's a little darling. 4-1, Julien Leparoux gets on this one for Kenny McPeak. Most recently, his horse had to start the 30th of December at Santa Anita, 2,000 meters, 1.25 miles in the Grade 1 American Oaks. Horse won by half length, and a field of 9 horses was just tracking the pace that day. Got the lead, and then he took off. A very nice victory for this horse at 2-1 without Lasix. Keep that in mind. This horse is not getting Lasix again today, so that's something you want to note of. But before that, this horse ran the 24th of November at Churchill, yielding ground, mile 16th in the Grade 2 Mrs. Revere. This horse finished third by 3/4 length. This horse was coming at the end, but coming a little bit too late. This horse needs the longer ground. And then in the QE2 Cup at Keeneland, mile 8th, October the 14th, horse finished second by half length. Again, just coming out a little bit too late. Was closing up well, but too late. This horse won in 2017 twice. Once in the American Oaks and one in the Dueling Ground Oaks at Kentucky Downs, going a mile and 2.5 furlongs. This horse won by 4.5 lengths. Great turn of foot. Destroyed the field. She was much the best, though, that day. But I do like her here. She should get a good pace to close up with. 4-1, I'll take my chances with her. So to recap my bets now for the 9th from Tampa Bay, it's the 20th Hillsborough Stakes. Gonna go with the 5-horse Daddy's Little Darling. Gonna go 5-9-2-10 in the superfecta. To the multi-race wager, I'm going to go a few deep here. I'm going to go with the 5-horse Darling in the pick 5. I'll use the 9-horse La Cornell, and I'll probably use the 2-horse Off Limits. I'll go 3 deep here. So now let's get on to race number 10 from Tampa. The 10th race, it's the 35th running of the Florida Oaks, Grade 3, purse $200,000. It's your fillies are 3-year-olds. Field of 12 horses going the distance of ground of 1,700 meters, or 1 mile and 1/16 on the Tampa Bay turf course. 1,700 meters, a mile and 16th turf course. Top pick in this race, I like the number 5 horse here again. Number 5, Adenia Del Sur. Hopefully I said that right. Pardon me if I didn't. I'm going to go 5-2-6-12 in the superfecta. 5-2-6-12 super. Top pick number 5, Adenia Del Sur. She'll be used on my pick 5 ticket. Along with the number 2 horse, I do think she should run well. And I'll use the 6 horse, Closer Still also. I think she'll run well. These 2 turf races in the middle legs of the pick 5 are very wide open races. So I'll go 3 deep in the pick 5, 5-2-6. I'll go 5-2-6-12 in the superfecta. But my top pick number 5, Adenia Del Sur, 8-1. This 3-year-old filly by Giants Causeway. Julien Leparoux is on this Tom Albertrani train. 3-year-old filly by Giants Causeway. Most recently, his horse had to start about 5 weeks ago now, the 3rd of February at Gulfstream. 1 mile, 1,600 meters in the Sweet Chanter Stakes. His horse finished third by 2.5 lengths that day. The Way I Am, who won that day, just ran a great race. She quickened up nicely, but this horse that day didn't have the bestest trip stalking. Just really couldn't come going a little bit. This horse was a little bit bothered also. Just keep that in mind. But, it just wasn't her day to win. There's a lot of speed and a lot of closers in this race. Not a lot of horses that will just sit off the pace. She's one of the few horses that can sit off the pace in this race, and I do like that a lot here. But start before this horse ran the 6th of January. That came at Gulfstream, 7.5 furlongs about, because everything at Gulfstream seems to be about, because the distances are so inconsistent in my eyes. That came in the Ginger Brew Stakes at Gulfstream. Horse finished third by 1.5 lengths. Set about mid-pack that day, but was wide. Just keep that in mind. This horse was very wide, about 10 wide it seemed on the replay. And she was closing up a little bit that day, a little bit too late, but she did need a little longer grounds. And then first outing on the 20th of October here in New York at Belmont, 6 furlongs in her turf course, main special weight 75. Horse won by 2 lengths, sat mid-pack from wide postura, but really had a great turn of foot at the end. Nice victory for this horse. I do like her here sitting mid-pack. Watch out for her here today. So to recap my bets for the 10th from Tampa, it's the 35th running of the Florida Oaks, the Grade 3 Florida Oaks. Going to go with the 5-horse Adenia Del Sur. Going to go 5, 2, 6, 12 in the superfecta. 5, 2, 6 for me in the multi-race. Pick 5. So now let's get on to today's 11th race from Tampa. The 11th race, it's the featured. It's the 38th running of the Tampa Bay Derby, Grade 2, purse $400,000. This race is for 3-year-olds. Field of 11 3-year-olds going the distance of ground of 1,700 meters or 1 mile and 1/16th on the Tampa Bay main track. Mile 16th, 1,700 meters. Top pick in this race, I like the number 9 horse. Number 9, who is Untamed Domain. Gonna go 9-3-5-2 in the superfecta. 9-3-5-2 super. I'm gonna go too deep here to end off the pick 4 or the pick 5. I'm gonna go 9-3. If the ticket, say some horse scratches in the other leg, maybe I'll use Flame Away to throw him in. But I don't really like him. His last race, he just had he had an easy race, I think. It's going to be a lot tougher for Flame Away today. But I'm going to go 9-3 in the multi-race, 9-3-5-2 in the superfecta. But my top pick, number 9, Untamed Domain, 6-1 here. Jose Ortiz comes in for the mount for Grand Motion. This 3-year-old colt by Animal Kingdom. Most recently, this horse had to start the 3rd of February. Gulfstream Park, a mile, 1,600 meters in the Grade 3 Diana Beach. This horse finished 3rd by 2 3/4 lengths that day. And, in a field of 9 horses, this horse broke from the 5 barrier and just sat about mid-pack that day. She just didn't have a great turn of foot at the end. It was the horse's first start since the Breeders' Cup, so maybe she needed the race. I think coming here to dirt, a different surface, she should run well. One thing I really like about this horse, Grand Motion sent this horse about 2.5 weeks ago now to Tampa Bay to have a few workouts on this race course, which I really love. I like when a horse gets to, doesn't ship in the day before the race. I like when the horse ships in a few weeks before the race. So this horse has been accustomed to the surface, and I do think he should run really well. Start before the 3rd of November at Del Mar, mile 1,600 meters in the Grade 1 Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. Horse finished second by a length behind Mendelssohn, who ran Friday in Ireland at Dundalk in the Patent Stakes. But this horse just finished second behind Mendelssohn, who won that day. This horse was last pretty early, was wide, but had a great turn of foot at the end. He just missed, but it wasn't a bad run. And then the Summer Stakes of Woodbine, 1,600 meters, 1 mile on the 17th of September. Horse won by a neck, sitting about mid-pack. He closed up well and had a great victory. This horse has lost a few times, but the races this horse lost, other than the Diana Beach, were decent races. He finished 3rd with Anticipation after a horrible start, but was closing up well at the end. It was decent turn of foot at the end, I must say. And then his first career outing at Laurel going 5.5. Horrible trip that day. He got checked, but had a great turn of foot at the end. But I do love this horse here a lot in this race. He'll be getting a nice little win wager from me for sure. But watch out for him to run a big one here in the Tampa Derby. So to recap my bets for race number 11 from Tampa Bay Downs, it's the meat featured. It's the 38th running of the Grade 2 Tampa Bay Derby. Gonna go with the number 9 horse, Untamed Domain. I'm gonna go 9-3-5-2 in the superfecta. I'll go 9-3 to end off the all stakes pick 5. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 and go check out my other videos. I did videos for the Gotham Day for Aqueduct. I'm also doing videos for the Santa Anita Handicap Day from Santa Anita. And also, if you're interested in the international races, next Tuesday starts the Cheltenham Festival. It's an excellent jumping festival from England. A lot of money to be made there. So go join me here on YouTube for previews for all those 5 days. So good luck, everybody. And follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck.